Hello guys, this section is on Proteus. Proteus is a simulation software mainly used for designing of electrical as well as electronic circuit. And do you know what is a simulated environment or what you are doing in a simulated environment? Let's head on that. I will explain the term or what is meant by simulated environment by using a suitable example. Consider the case you are going to make an aircraft. So what is our first stage? We will try to make a design. After making the design, we will make the components, means we will make the parts, and after that we will assemble those parts. So now we have our we can have a physical aircraft with you. After that section, you will be going to test the aircraft. So in order to test the aircraft, you took it to the ground and you are testing the aircraft, whether you are testing whether it is getting the correct thrust or the velocities, the correct velocity you are getting, and testing for any other mistake like this thing. And you found some errors or some mistake had occurred, like you didn't get the required thrust for its lift, and its stability was not that much good as you expected, like these things. So what you will going to do? You will try to update your design and rebuild your model again. So in this whole scenario, you can understand that whenever you are trying to implement new things on your aircraft, every time you have to make a new one. So that is actually spending you a lot of money as well as your time. Imagine that you have a software to do your testing. Means instead of doing it in the ground, that is in the real world, you can actually test your aircraft, what you made or what you designed in any other softwares like SolidWorks. You can test your model directly into a simulated environment, and which is done in a software kind. So while testing, you can able to understand that what are the or how where is the part where it gets failed, like these things. You have to understand that the simulated environment has the same physical property like that of a real world. That means it has gravity like that of a real world. Earth has a gravity similar to that. Inside the simulation software also, there's gravity, air is there, like this, all these things. So it is actually copying our real world inside a simulated environment. So we can easily identify our errors when you test your model inside a simulated environment rather than testing in a real world. So this is the use of a simulated software in aircraft building. So here you save lots of money because you are not, every time you are not building a new model in that is new physical model. Every time you are not building a new physical model, but you are making design, changing the designs that you already made and testing in the simulated environment. So like this, similar simulation software is required in the case of electronic as well as electrical circuit designing also. So such a software is Proteus. So inside the Proteus, we have components like resistors, LED bulbs, switches, whatever you see in your in your schools. You try to make design, you try to make circuits with batteries, all these things, and higher circuits. Some ICs are there. All these things can be found inside the Proteus. So the main advantage is that you don't need the components physically in your hand to make a circuit. Rather, you can make these circuits within this software, like Proteus software, and you can test it whether the circuit that you made is correct or functioning correct or not. If you try to do in a physical manner, you are physically arranging all the components and testing it, and if you made some connection mistake, you even lose your component. But this such a case won't happen in case while you are doing while you are designing a circuit in a protest. And rather than designing circuit, we can also design the PCB. PCB means printed circuit board. You might see these green color boards after that is with so many components in it. I think you have seen that. So that designing can also be done inside the Proteus software, and you can able to visualize by using a 3D visualizer also. So this is the advantage of using of Proteus. Coming to other softwares like that of Proteus, we have Eagle, Altum Designer, Orkut. So these are other softwares like that of Proteus, but Proteus is most a popular one and commonly used, where we can design our circuit as well as we can test our circuit whether it is functioning correctly. Then as well as we can design the PCB also. So I hope you have understood a brief introduction about Proteus. Thank you.